I have kind of touched on this before, but I like the look of the setup that David Haye has in the Haymaker gym with these young fighters that he's bringing through. People like Joe Joyce, Michael Venom Page, so on and so forth. And with those two, I know they're not particularly young, but still, in terms of professional boxing, they're in the embryonic stages of their careers. He's got a bunch of other guys in there too. So it's David Haye. He's got the veteran coach Ismail Salas on board and a bunch of other training people. And it really looks like a family vibe over there. I'm liking the look of what I'm seeing. David Haye has a lot to pass on to young fighters, not just in terms of his boxing knowledge, but more importantly, in a certain sense, in terms of his business knowledge. Because David Haye, in terms of boxers, not necessarily promoters or managers, but in terms of boxers, David Haye is one of the smartest British boxers I've ever seen. I said many years ago, I think when Haye first moved up to heavyweight, that Haye is probably the best managed British heavyweight I've ever seen. This guy managed to get a world title shot after only having 2 fights at heavyweight against a couple of knockover jobs. And he managed to get that world title shot by himself. He wasn't signed to a major promoter. It was just him and his trainer, Adam Booth, and they managed to get a world title shot after knocking over 2 stiffs, basically. This guy is exceptionally, or was exceptionally well managed. I mean, even to get himself back on pay-per-view in his latest comeback, when he knocked over those 2 stiffs, not to be disrespectful, but knocked over those 2 stiffs on Dave. And then he got a pay-per-view with Tony Bellew. David Haye, love him or hate him, is an exceptional businessman. Exceptional. He handles his business. He has made crazy amounts of money. I mean, this guy did a pay-per-view fighting Audley Harrison. That's how good a businessman David Haye is. So the business, I mean, and look, some people are going to say this, that, and the other about David Haye, and he's ripped off the fans and he's conned the public. I understand all that. But just in terms of being able to maneuver business-wise in the world of boxing, David Haye is very smart. Yeah? Because the boxing world is full of sharks. It's full of greedy promoters and managers and all kind of people that are looking to exploit fighters. That are looking to bleed them dry. That's what the world of boxing is full of. Whereas David Haye and his then trainer / manager Adam Booth managed to break away from all the major promoters and go solo and be extremely successful in doing so and make loads of money, put on their own shows and control their own destiny. David Haye, I don't think, would be anywhere near as powerful in the world of boxing today if he would have been tied down to a major promoter and didn't do the solo thing for most of his career. So he has all that knowledge, that business knowledge, to pass on to his young fighters, the people that he's bringing through now with Haymaker Promotions. So I hope that Haye makes a proper go of it this time, and it looks like he's going to, because Haymaker Promotions did sign a bunch of people a few years ago, but that really went nowhere, and most of those fighters got released, or all of them. This time around, it's towards the tail end of David Haye's career. He knows that. So hopefully he's in it for the long haul and he brings these fighters through correctly. And again, the training setup that I'm seeing, I like it. I like the look of the footage with Salas and Haye and all these other guys guiding these young fighters. It looks good. I hope it's not just for photo opportunities. I hope behind the scenes that Haye and Salas are very hands-on in terms of helping out these fighters. Joe Joyce is an interesting fighter to me because I'm not quite sure what you can do with Joe Joyce. He's already in his early 30s. He's turning pro, very late. So you're not really going to be able to modify him much stylistically because the guy's in his early 30s. He's far too old to be modified stylistically in any dramatic way. So you're going to have to basically deal with his style the way it is now and just maybe tweak it a little bit. what you have in Joe Joyce is a big, very slow, strong, tough heavyweight who comes forward. That's what Joe Joyce is. I don't see what else they can really do with him other than have him fight the way he's fighting now, just tighten up his defense maybe a little bit, try and add some head movement, but I don't think that'll be easy. He's just very naturally stiff. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what they do with Joyce. He kind of reminds me a little bit of people like Dominic Breazeale, for example. He's a big, slow heavyweight who's tough and can punch a bit himself, like Joyce. Joyce is in better shape than Dominic Breazeale, though. At least aesthetically, he looks in a lot better shape. Also, Marius Wack, he's another person similar to Joyce. Very big guy, very tough, can bang, just like Joyce, but limited. So maybe Joyce will be that kind of level, like a Dominic Breazeale or a Marius Wack. Or maybe they can improve him far more so than I'm envisioning in my head. I'm just not sure what they're going to do with him. You know, Salas will probably have a better idea of what to do with him than David Haye, because Salas has trained so many fighters, particularly when he was training amateurs in Cuba. He's probably seen all types of different heavyweights. So he'll probably have a better idea of what to do with Joyce and how to improve him. But, you know, I wish Joyce all the best and look forward to seeing him fight on Dave. They're going to have to move him quickly because of his age, and they were trying to match him with Dave Allen in his pro debut, so clearly that's their intention, to move him quickly. So, yeah, you know, you'll be watching Joe Joyce fight on the Dave channel, for those of you in the UK, for free. It should be good. It should be entertaining. So, yeah, just my thoughts on David Haye's setup with his young fighters. Let me know what you think about it, people. I know people love to be critical of David Haye and whatnot, but my motto has always been, for those of you who are long-time subscribers, my motto has always been, no fighter is below praise and no fighter is above criticism. And I extend that to managers, promoters, and everybody. Nobody's below praise and nobody's above criticism. If David Haye is doing something that I think is praiseworthy, I'm going to praise him for it. I've done more than my fair share of criticizing David Haye. So you can't accuse me of being no Haye fanboy. But when he's doing something that, to me, appears to be good on the surface, good for British boxing, good for these young fighters' careers, hey, I'm gonna give him a pat on the back. I'm gonna give credit where it's due. That's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, let me know how you feel in the comment section below, people. It's happening. I'm out.